Hi Libra, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 15th to the 30th. So I'm going to be covering 2 weeks. Typically do the weekly, but I'm just really busy with the new semester and stuff. So I am also trying to get some other special videos together for my channel. So anyway, this is going to be covering the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to timestamp below because I'm going to be doing first, I'm going to discuss the astrology with some oracles, and I'm going to pull a general Celtic spread. Then we're going to get into relationship, and then I'm going to pull a final spread for those of you in separation. So just reference the description box below if you want to just pop around and you don't want to watch the video straight through. My videos do tend to run on the long side, so have at it that way. I hope you guys are doing well today. My name is Jackie. For those of you who are new, welcome, welcome. Remember, these are general messages. Take what resonates throughout the rest, and I always recommend watching your rising sign, sun sign, moon sign, and Venus sign as well. Your moon sign will give an indicator of not only what's going on with your emotions, but what's going on in your home life. Your sun sign will not only indicate what's going on in your ego consciousness, but also what's going on in your work life. And your rising sign will indicate really how you're experiencing your day-to-day, how people are experiencing you, your approach to life right now, and how you're meeting things kind of in a 3D on the daily. And then Venus really does indicate several things, right? How we're dealing with our money, our relationship, and also our sense of self. So it's important to look at all of those things for the fullest message. And some months it's totally normal to resonate greater with one over the other. You know, some months I know, some months I resonate so much more with my moon energy or my rising. Okay, so we're just doing a little lay of the land here with the oracles, and we're going to work in the astrology. So as far as the astrology goes, there's 4 main things that I really want to talk about. And actually, Libra, I think it's a lot about you this month, all right, as we wrap up this week. Because we have Mars on the 15th is going to be entering your first house, which is going to give you a real boost to your energy. But you know what's really crazy here? It's your first house, but Mars is the ruler of your natal 7th house, right? So it's almost like Mars opposing Mars. So there's going to be a lot of energy having to do with relationships and your sense of self, but having to do with this boost of energy that you're going to be feeling. You can harness this energy and put it into your relationships. And or into your earning capacity. That 7th house is also having to do with any sort of contractual agreement, anything like that, as well as, you know, your ancient, it's the ancient ruler, right? Pluto is the ancient ruler of your 2nd house. So that's very important for us to understand and sort of work in, because that's your energy of finances as well. So there's this energy of that Scorpio and Venus represents money. That's all hanging out in your 2nd house. So there's a lot of indicators here that that tell me that you're going to be focusing a lot on money. There's going to be a lot of energy felt, just a lot of energy sort of bringing up to the surface for you. There's a lot of energy also, though, focused on that 7th house, right? And you and a 7th house partner or person can be working to resolve a conflict. And now this could be an intimate partner or a spouse, a business partner, or even a very close family friend. I want to get even more specific. Your 7th house can also represent your 2nd born child, your maternal grandmother, in addition to being a very close friend. Now, this conflict, though, is likely that you're needing to settle. The conflict is likely to be instigated by them, since Mars, that warrior planet, rules your 7th house and it represents other. They're the ones that are probably instigating it. Now, this can also indicate somebody being very forthright and hell-bent to be with you, Libra. And what do I mean by that? You may be dealing with somebody who is not going to take no for an answer, who just really, really, really wants to be with you. And they're going to be very forward, right? Very, very forward. So just be prepared, those of you who are in that space, okay? So that Martian energy that's going on the end of this month is going to be really lighting your chart up. I do want to say that. So let's go to the cards now. Surrender to the divine, full moon. Here we go. Surrender to the divine is being clarified by cycles. So there's some sort of something very serendipitous, something very divine and destiny driven is happening in some sort of cyclical fashion right now. Go beyond the normal. That means go outside of your comfort zone. Okay. Oh, and then we have by the book. All right, listen. So something is rising up to the surface. You're looking at the cycles in your life right now. And I don't even think only in like intimate relationships. I think this has to go with work relationships, family situations, all parts of your life, right? Especially because there's so much focus. That sun is moving from Virgo into your house, you know, on the 22nd, Libra. So there's so much focus. First half of this time, right, all the way up from the 15th to the 21st, it's going to be focused on your subconscious. And then it moves into your first house of self. So the focus is then going to be on your sense of self. So it's like how you're feeling and then how you're being. There's going to be a lot of focus on that right now. So you're going to be looking at all of the different cycles in your life. And you're going to want to go past what you typically do. I feel like a lot of you right now are just not very satisfied in what's going on in at least one area of your life, if not more than that. I feel there are things that are indicating to me that you're not completely happy with your, not that you're not happy with your work, but there's something going on around your work that you would like to improve. And there's a lot of energy, unsettled relationship energy. And again, it could be a significant other, or it could have to do with a maternal grandmother, or it could have to do with, again, like I said, your second born child. But when it comes to doing something by the book, you have to look at what's expected. There have to be some sort of expectations looked at. You know, how are you being asked to conform? How are you asking somebody to conform? What's expected here? There has to be a lot of open conversation having to do with that. Then we have beautiful, a win-win outcome in the forecast. Full moon in you, a full moon in Libra. So there's a lot of really nice Libra energy that we're going to work in as well. That's being clarified by healing. So a win-win forecast that's going to be very healing. Conscious connections. This is an excellent energy to get, guys. Conscious connections means you're not going to stay in something just because it's easy. You're not going to stay in something just because you don't feel like making the change. You're going to stay very consciously aware in something, and you're going to pay attention to the red flags, to the signals, and what is making you feel unsettled in something, in that situation, in that business connection, in that relationship, whatever it is. And you're going to take that and you're going to sit with it, which I like, particularly because Mercury is going to be going retrograde in your energy. So it's a really good time to sort of sit with and go over whatever it is that you're trying to work out right now and not actually act on it. This is not a good time all the way through the middle of October to actually be very proactive in anything new. It's a really good energy to be reflective. And that's what the Sea, if you notice, she's not looking so much to the back or to the future. She's just sort of sitting with her emotions right now and just sort of rolling over what it is that she feels like is the best thing for her moving forward, or him, obviously, right? But I like this win-win energy here. I mean, because we have on the 23rd, I do want to mention, right, Venus in Scorpio in your second house is opposing Uranus and Taurus in your 8th house. So there's going to be a lot of unexpected change and upheavals when it comes to your mutual resources with a significant other. Could even be with a business partner. It could even be with a family member. If you have any sort of dealing with any kind of inheritance, any sort of, family business, that kind of thing. That could also have to do with any sort of insurance payout, because that 8th house is other people's money, but it's also the house where we show up as a we in relationship. So it has to do with shared intimacy, shared resources, shared communication. So there's going to be something that's very unexpected that happens here. Now, I do want to say, and I know this sounds rather specific, but because it has to do with, a lot of it has to do with finances, and it's shocking. A lot of you might be dealing with a child custody case or insurance or inheritance payout where there's something sudden. So there can be like, this can indicate like a sudden financial opportunity that comes in quickly that you're going to feel like you need to act on. There's something that you feel like you need to act on. And because it's Uranus, there's no way to tell in a general reading like this if this is going to be good or bad, but it's going to be really, really obvious. But I also want to say, just be careful. Whatever's coming in this area, and which is why I like that we got conscious connection to the sea. Don't act too flippantly on anything, which you guys are good at. You guys are good at sitting back and mulling things over, right? We always talk about you guys struggle with analysis paralysis a lot. This is one time period where I feel like it's definitely going to work in your favor. Just sit back and don't make any big decisions this month. But there's something shocking, it sounds so dramatic, right? Something that you didn't see coming in that 8th house. So, I mean, this could even be like suddenly your partner suddenly comes into a ton of money, or suddenly your partner loses their avenue, their stream of money. Suddenly maybe you get an inheritance payout early, or money that you weren't expecting to get for support in some sort of divorce agreement suddenly coming to you, or you finding out that you're not getting anything. I mean, it really can be, that's the problem with general messages, right? If I could see more specifically how this Uranus energy is speaking to your natal chart, I would be able to be more specific, but it's enough to say expect the unexpected in that particular area, okay? Now, continuing with the cards, a time to give rather than take. And that's a Virgo energy, because Virgo is all about being of service. And this is part of this full moon energy, right? Virgo is sitting in your 12th house. It's ruled by Mercury. So we have to understand wherever Mercury is in your chart, there's going to be this need to sort of change your strategy to go within, right? And so Mercury rules your 9th house and it rules your 12th house, right? Because you guys have that Gemini energy in the 9th house. That's where some sort of gift is coming in, because the North Node is there. So something having to do with a very positive negotiation, a positive launch of something. Something really positive that you want to put out. Where if it has to do with advertising, marketing, launching, negotiating, something to do with your in-laws, anything having to do with your belief system, higher education teaching, foreign land, foreign travel, anything like that. With that North Node Gemini in there, something very positive is coming in, but because Mercury does rule that house for you, and Mercury is going to be retrograde, I feel like you're going to be getting some information in, but just, again, don't make any big decisions, right? Mercury retrograde also, again, rules that 12th house of the subconscious. So it's your inner mind. So you're going to be really going over things very heavily, I feel like, over every part of your life. You're really going to sort of be taking stock of where you're at in your life. It's a very spiritual energy. And with that, we pull have faith. Have faith. And when I say a time to give rather than to take, it's be of service where you can in your life. It's going to go well for you. Have faith that something is going exactly the way it's supposed to. Here we have she feels, she knows. Listen to your intuition. Your intuition is popping right now, especially up to the 21st. From the 15th to the 21st, your intuition is going to be so on fire because it's part of this Pisces full moon that's opposing Neptune, and Neptune rules the 12th house. So there's going to be a lot of, I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to be this dissolving away of old, like, psychological issues that have been troubling you. There's this going over. There's going to be such an unbelievable positive healing energy for Libras, I really do believe. And she feels, she knows, right? Tapping into her intuition that there's something going on in your life right now that is a never-ending story. It's always that whole back, going back to the cycles energy. That's like, here we go again, here we go again. Like, are you in that relationship that you can have conversations all the time, over and over? Nothing's really changing. You don't feel any more fulfilled in it than you did 6 months ago, last year. You're trying to remain optimistic, but things maybe aren't really changing in the way that you would really like, and you are trying to be very optimistic, but things are still as they are, but you're not sure how to see your way out of it. And that could be the tricky part here, right? Now, this is, like I mentioned before with this healing energy, this Pisces the 21st is Pisces energy in your 6th house, conjunct Neptune and sextiling Pluto and Capricorn in your 4th house. This is a very beneficial full moon for all of us. But for you, this can bring such healing on a deep emotional level, as I mentioned a moment ago, in a way, though, that can end up transforming you on a psychological level. Now, some of you may be quitting an unpleasant job or anything toxic from your day-to-day, right? Because that's that 6th house energy. Those of you involved in court cases, this general message indicates it definitely going in your favor. Now, Pluto in your 4th equals fertility, so you want to pay attention to your daily habits if you're wanting to conceive. Are you keeping your stress level low? Are you ingesting healthy foods? Are you not drinking or abusing any substances? You want to look at all of these things, right? Because all of these things can get in the way of fertility if you're in the space of wanting to do that. Now, this Pisces full moon falls just about an hour after Mercury trines Jupiter at less than 1 degree. So from a spiritual perspective, guys, this is super optimistic. It's a very generous, very fortuitous energy that's available to all of us. And it's great, great, great for you guys, especially for business, for anything you do day to day, for your health, for planning, for socializing. This is really good. And now this is the strong influence because of that 1 degree orb, but also because Mercury is conjunct the most fortunate of all the fixed stars, Spica, which is going to incite ingenious thinking, having to do with your work, having to do with your health. It's going to help you to tap into your faith a lot more easily. You're going to be better able to get along with people in your life, especially people in authority. This aspect also helps to support gains through investments, helps to incite positions of authority that's going to help you move ahead in your life. Right? Now, I want to kind of connect that back to what I was saying about something's going to be coming up in that 8th house, some sort of like opportunity. Now, don't come after me whether it's good, bad, or indifferent because it's Uranus, right? But it's going to be like some sort of investment where it's going to be like, okay, I have to take part in this now. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. You are going to feel like you have to do that. And those of you who are going to have this experience, it's going to become very, very obvious to you, okay? Just be careful with it. That's the only thing. But because of how Spica is aspecting you guys, I have to say I feel like it's going to end up being like financially beneficial. I really do think that. What else did I want to mention? The connection between your 8th house with Uranus retrograde, squaring that 5th house, which is ruled by Uranus. This can indicate a sudden shutdown of a romantic or a sexual connection. But I feel like it's going to be by you, Libra. I could feel like you're going to be doing it, right? I just feel like that, right? It's because of what's going on in your 1st house with this Mercury retrograde and Mars being in there. This can equal you suddenly changing your mind regarding, even if not a relationship, an educational pursuit, or taking a break from an educational pursuit, or going back to something that you started a long time ago, or reestablishing a relationship with your father or even your in-laws. Mercury also rules over your 12th house, so you might be revisiting some kind of old self-sabotaging energy or sacrificial activity or mindset. Though I don't see this lasting, since I see your attitude toward life in general as being looked at through a much cleaner glass with a lighter spirit than you've been experiencing. But you're recognizing at least maybe where you've gotten in the way of you being able to be maybe happier in your life, in your relationship up to this point. What have you been putting up with? What are you not? Are you really in the right space having to do with relationship or career, right? So that's what we have for the general messages here as far as the oracles go. So let's pull some general messages from tarot. So we're going to use our chakra tarot for our Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Again, these are going to be general for all areas of life, and then I'll go into relationship. Four of Swords. This is where you're at right now. It's challenging you from getting this different perspective is the Nine of Coins. Okay, so let's talk about that. Libra. I feel like a lot of you are just like, oh, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone and let me just do my thing. A lot of you are coming into the space, first of all, feeling very self-protected, feeling very concerned about your security. Many of you are watching your resources to make sure that you have a firm foundation later on. Others of you are just protecting your heart. You don't want to get hurt. You really don't. So a lot of you may almost be working in like on automatic, like press the button, like robot mode. You don't want to get hurt. Something isn't sitting right with you, but you don't want to get hurt. And you're very concerned about, you know, you don't want to lose your home. You don't want to not have money. You don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be in that place of lack. You're worried about that. I understand that. Now, the Four of Swords, this indicates you right now. Four of Swords is about taking time out and stepping back for perspective. Some of you might be really doing some beautiful self-analysis. Some of you may be doing shadow work, figuring out a better strategy moving forward regarding that situation. But what's getting in the way of that right now is this Nine of Coins energy. And the idea of comfort is an issue for you. So because even if you're recognizing that something doesn't feel right at that job, if you leave, you won't have money, you won't be comfortable in that relationship. You know, yeah, I mean, that could even compromise your resources, or just you not being more comfortable in your life. You might be very comfortable in your life, in your lifestyle, but not in a relationship that you're in. You might be comfortable in the relationship that you're in your home life, but you're not comfortable at your job, right? But the thing is, too, because it's showing up as a challenge here, you're also not feeling very successful in your accomplishments. It's very hard for you to do this. You're not feeling comfortable with where you're at right now. Because 9 is the number of productivity. It's integrating your body, mind, and spirit. And I feel like you guys are really having a hard time doing it. You want to do it. You're all about doing it. You can even talk about it. But it's very difficult for you to feel this on a very visceral level, is what I'm getting from the cards. So the basis of this situation here is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a Venus and Aries energy. Now, for some of you, this could have to do with homecoming. So maybe you guys were in a space maybe where there was a separation in the relationship and somebody came home, and now you're a little confused about, you know, where is the relationship right now? This could have to do with going back to a job. For many of you, for others of you, the basis right now is you really kind of wanting to be free. You wanting a very strong foundation. You wanting to be in a situation where you feel fully appreciated, where somebody is very expressive. Okay, especially if it has to do with a relationship. Okay, some of you may also be in this space where you're just very focused on a new partner who's opening up their heart and expressing their love and affection, and you just kind of want to ride with that, but you're not sure how you feel about the relationship. And for others of you, if it has to do with career, you're in this space where you want to be very free to be creative. Right? You want to have a lot of success. You want to go after what you want, but there might be something standing in your way when it comes to that work energy. Now, right now, you have Cancer sitting in your 10th house, then that's ruled by the moon. So you may be working and, you know, doing something, however you're making your money, whatever it is, however your money is coming to you, and saying, is this actually even worth it? Is it worth it? I'm not sure. You know, you having something but saying, like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Now, we have here the current situation that you're experiencing. Situation you're experiencing is Two of Wands, which is Mars and Aries. So this is about making plans and moving forward. This could have to do with a business partnership, or this could have to do with an intimate partnership. But this is about you gaining influence in work regarding your particular approach to something. But there are two aspects to a situation, and you have to figure out, if it has to do with work, which is going to best maximize your skill set. If this has to do with you meeting a new romantic partner, you may be in a space where you're trying to decide between a new energy or an energy that you're with already. Should I do this? Should I do that? You know, this person can come through work or friends. I mean, overall, though, this does indicate really good opportunities, allowing your station and how you're feeling about your life to rise, either in your personal or your public life. This is about moving forward, and that's what you're doing right now. But I do also feel like a lot of you are in this space of figuring out what is where you're going the right thing for you. Now, the advice energy is to look at the 10 of coins in your life, which is looking at family and the idea of family, looking at the element of maturity. Is everyone mature in this situation? Are you within a situation here, whether it's a relationship, a business situation, a family situation, where it can grow? Because this is the energy of growth, maturity, deepening of commitment, shared values, legacy, property, inheritance. You know, it's Mercury in Virgo, right? I mean, so Mercury is about the mind, what's on your mind, right? And when it's in Virgo, it's very critical and it's very focused on the day-to-day practicalities and what is the health like of a situation. So Spirit is asking you to sit back and do some really good evaluating and saying, okay, you know, I feel good in this, I feel bad in this. That's one thing. But you're being asked to sit down and actually almost come up with a fact sheet, F-A-C-T, where it's like, okay, what's going on in this situation? Am I going to be able to grow in it in a way that's going to benefit me over the long term? You're dealing with an external energy that's Two of Swords. So you're dealing with somebody who feels like they're in an emotional stalemate when it comes to you and how they're connected to you. So this could be anyone from a marital partner, an intimate relationship, a family connection, business, whatever it is. They're in this space though where they do need to make a decision and they want to protect themselves because they know that whatever's going on right now is reaching a precipice, right? It's like you can't continue going on this trajectory, right? So they know they have to resolve something. They have to just say what they think, right? It's swords, it's air, it's words, it's truth. They have to make a decision about the future, but they have to communicate it with you effectively. And what are they confused about? They need to communicate that to you as well. So your challenge here is the Princess of Wands. So your challenge here is expressing yourself. You're having a hard time, guys. You don't like confrontation. We all know that. That doesn't mean that you're a quiet little flower in the corner wilting away. You speak, you have a voice, but you don't like confrontation. And so expressing yourself right now, like how you truly, truly feel, like deep in your viscera, is a little difficult for you right now. Could definitely, because you're having a hard time, because this is the thing. I feel like feeling that I'm getting here is that you feel like if you open your mouth and you broach a situation and you try to negotiate something, it's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be a waste of time. And so, and you feel like, okay, let's say we sit down and we have this kumbaya chat. And I tell this person how I'm feeling and they tell me, then what? Then the most that's going to happen is they're going to offer me a situation that still may appeal to me in theory, but it's really not ultimately what I'm looking for. So why even bother? Why waste my energy? I kind of feel like you're tired here. In the near future, we have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Some of you may be finding out that you're pregnant. Lots of Libras are getting pregnant in this time here. Libra suns and Libra risings. There's a lot of very fertile energy going on here for sure. Yes. So it could be that. It could also be falling in love with somebody new. This could be getting a new job. This could be focusing on parenting. This could be just a lot of strong love and support within an existing relationship. This could also be a very creative time for a lot of Libras. Very creative. You guys are creative anyway, but very creative. And something that matters to you a lot finally coming to fruition. So that could have to do with a business opportunity. This could have to do with maybe finally getting pregnant or working on that whatever, fill in the blank with a partner, right? That coming to fruition in the near future. But this is the thing. Then we have the Five of Cups as the final outcome energy. Mars and Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio. So there's going to be a lot of issues about, like, I almost feel like Some of you being like, oh, wait a minute, I think I might have asked for this, but I'm not sure if I actually want what I asked for. At some point in time, you may have energetically drawn this to yourself. This is an energy of sadness and loss and leaving. So this could be a relationship, this could be a friendship, this could be a work or money situation, but something ends before you feel really ready for it. You're going to be able to deal with it. You're going to be fine. But, I mean, guys, for some of you, this might be like, oh, wait a minute, I'm pregnant. Am I ready for that? Am I ready to give up my old life? Some of you are going to be feeling that. Others of you are going to, if you find out maybe I'm getting that new job, you know, am I really ready for all of that responsibility? I'm not sure. Am I ready to leave what I was doing, what I was in? Do you know what I mean? So it could be like this beautiful new thing comes in, but you're feeling like, wait a minute, I'm feeling this sadness because I'm not ready to actually let go of what was going on before. It's almost like being afraid of the new in some part of your life. So, and that's okay. I mean, growth is difficult sometimes, right? There's so much healing, though, that can go on here. Libra, please, please, please believe me when I tell you that. Please believe me when I tell you that. So be as honest with yourself as you possibly can be right now, because the energy is so positioned for you to just heal and level yourself up. Because after all, what you're moving into and what you're moving away from, maybe what you're moving away from wasn't really making you all that happy anyway. But there could be that tension in not knowing what's on the other side of it. That's always difficult, right? It's always difficult. Okay. So this top line is going to be for you in relationship, and then I'm going to pull 4 qualifiers for past, present, near future, final outcome, and then I'm going to do the same thing for an energy that you're dealing with here. And then I'm going to pull for those of you in separation. I know you guys get angry when I don't like apply everything to singles as well, but I always feel like it's a very different energy. So starting, yeah, I mean, you're all about the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. I can't speak. So the Queen of Pentacles, yeah, taking care of your body, your mind, your soul, your finances, really wanting to feel good in your own space, wanting to focus on a marriage, wanting to focus on fertility. Again, coming back to this is one of the fertility cards, guys. It just keeps coming up. I can't help it. But I'm sure we have all different Libras out there, all different ages and stages. So I'm sure many Libras, I'm a Gemini, but like me, the shop has been long closed, right? So some of you may be resonating with this more, having to do with marriage, again, like I mentioned, or maybe money coming to those of you who are coupled, maybe you might be very focused on the finances of your relationship as well. Clarifying that, but feeling very focused on making sure that you have what you need to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, and focusing on what matters, right? But it's being clarified by the Six of Cups energy. So this is an energy of nostalgia and harmony, but the past too, and reconciliation and reconciling old things that have come up and trying to find balance in the relationship, especially if you feel like you've suffered any kind of mistreatment at the hands of your relationship, or maybe you've maybe dealt some mistreatment. Really being focused on remedying that. You just want to be peaceful. I keep getting that through this whole reading. You just want to be peaceful. Now let's see what's going on with the energy that you're dealing with. Very nice in the recent past. We have Temperance that's being clarified by the Nine of Cups. So I like this a lot. I mean, the Temperance is about really things getting better after a really difficult time period through cooperation, through moderation, right? This is also a numerology connected to the Hierophant, which is a marriage energy or an important relationship where expectations and the need to conform to things in a certain way is being addressed and discussed. So you may be telling them what you expect, but they're listening because they want to be happy. They want to be, the Nine of Cups really is this energy where it's about feeling more connected to one's heart, in a nutshell, and whatever that means. And this is about old tensions dissolving into the waters from the past. It's just like, let it dissolve, right? So it's Jupiter and Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Like, let all that stuff just go away, right? Now, you might be dealing with somebody who's saying, okay, well, that happened. We can't live in the past, which is true, right? I mean, you can't live in the past, but you can't not address the past to move forward in a healthy way. Otherwise, it's going to rear its head, except with fangs next time, right? You have to address it and call it out. Shine some light on it. Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're all about stepping into your power right now, Libra. You really are. You're just like... You're all about, this is speed blocks being lifted, decisions coming in, which is so great for a Libra, right? And you being way more, with the Page of Wands, you're just being way more focused on expressing yourself. This is a very good news energy. It really, really is. But again, it just might not be exactly what you want. But so this is what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like you're in a relationship with somebody who's a good person. But there's somebody who really wants to just leave all the toxic nonsense from the past behind. They really, really do. And this is a person who by all rights is solid. They're hardworking. They like to be settled in the relationship and all of that stuff, right? But this is somebody who there's an element of greed about them. You know, we say with this energy, right? This energy has no patience for anyone looking to take what's his. He'll work hard and all of that, but he could be funny with his money. But in the same way, and this could also be she, right? It doesn't matter, the gender. But this could also indicate not being very flexible, having to do with making changes in their, let's say, the way that they deal with things. So if you're saying like, you know, I would really appreciate if you would be a little more open-minded when it comes to certain things, and instead of worrying so much maybe about money, let's communicate and let's figure out a different strategy rather than you worrying and then taking it out on me. That kind of thing. I'm just giving that as an example, right? But with this Chariot, the Chariot is all about wanting to get away from the toxicity, right? In numerology, this is the Tower. This is a necessary surrender, right? There's got to be this recognition, though, of where they're greedy and where they hold themselves back, because that area for you, Libra, is really not sitting well with you. There's something they either won't stop doing or they won't do, like maybe they won't stop drinking as much as they are partying. They won't stop worrying about money. They won't loosen up their purse string. It's like they say they're going to be more communicative and romantic. They're not. It's like that thing is missing, right? It's like kind of like that Knight of Coins energy sort of thing. But here you are, you know, sitting in your sun. You just want to be happy, right? I mean, the sun's going to be in you. And when the sun is in Venus, which rules your first house, Libra, man, oh man, first of all, again, you guys are going to be looking super cute. You're going to feel very romantic, but you're also going to have your spidey senses turned way up about what's fair and what's not. And you're not going to be able to not see that. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles clarifying this. And so you're approaching everything from a very logical and diligent perspective. As the 8 is the number of manifesting. And coins are not only about money, it's also about mental, physical, and emotional connection. So you're going to be in this space where you're going to try very hard to focus on responsibility, doing the right thing. But meanwhile, the whole time, keeping it real, underneath the surface, you're going to feel a certain level of dissatisfaction that you're not going to be able to escape. And you might not even be able to put your finger on it. But look at, you have some, oh, look at this. The Knight of Pentacles came up here. Yes. First, we have the Knight of Cups, which is lovely. This is a proposal coming in. This kid's like, okay, let's get married. Let's move in together. Let's buy that business. Let's move into a bigger home. Let's have a baby. Let's go on that trip. Something that's going to connect you, right? Something that's going to connect you because it's cup. So it's something that's going to speak to your emotional space, right? Very nice energy here for sure. And this is them, right? And this is them wanting to be open to real love and, all of that. So it's like they're there, right? They're there, Libra. clarifying that was the Knight of Pentacles. And again, going back to the fact that I feel like it's going to be falling a little short, because while they can be very loyal and dependable and they have a lot to offer, they might be missing something. If it's not that they're boring or slow to share their feelings, or you guys don't have a lot in common, even though they could be your rock. You're in this space where it's like, but is this going to be enough to go the long haul? I'm just not sure. And that's where that energy could come in, of that energy of indecisiveness, even though I feel like you're very much trying to push it off, because then we have, as the final outcome, we have the Star, clarified by the Seven of Swords. Yeah, so the Star is like, okay, you know, in the relationship, okay, I'm feeling very hopeful. This is, you know, everything's getting better now. The relationship's been really tricky. Things are going better. And this is you literally telling yourself this. No, I feel much better now. I'm much happier. We're figuring our stuff out. Please don't get mad at me for the way I'm interpreting the cards, guys. This message is so obvious to me, though. At the end of the day, I don't even think you're being obvious with yourself, though, because this is a Moon in Aquarius energy. A Moon is your emotions, and Aquarius is different than what I'm showing you, different than what I'm telling you. This is an energy of dishonesty and running away and you know, not exercising healthy boundaries. So, you know, how can this manifest for you? It's like saying that you're happy in something that you're really not happy in, because you don't want to bother really kind of moving out of something. Meanwhile, the person that you're dealing with is like, we have the beautiful Ten of Cups being clarified by the Strength energy, which is Leo, which is balance. I mean, the Strength energy can indicate, especially if your relationship's been tested, things getting better, but there's a need for balance, all right? And somebody needs their ego stroked here, it does seem like. With the Ten of Cups energy, I mean, this is family, contentment, benefits of security. So it's like, Libra, I feel like you're in a situation with somebody where they're all about it. In their own mind, their subjective read, even though you're viewing them as sort of like missing something, maybe they're a little funny with their money, they're not very good at meeting you halfway, you definitely feel something off, but you're trying to still make it work. And it's not that you have the illusion that anything is perfect, but I actually think that mantra is driving you. Nothing is perfect, everybody has stuff and all of this, but it's like the more you tell yourself that something is missing, the larger it becomes, is what I'm feeling here. This is a very specific message. So guys, if it's not yours, please don't try to make it fit. Okay. So let's see what's going on for those of you who are maybe in separation right now. Okay. Okay. So this top line is going to be for you, bottom line for them, and then I'm going to connect the energies through the Island Time Wellness and the Homemade Oracles, okay? And you always, you know, as I always say with the relationship reads, the energies can always be vice versa. So what I say for you, it could certainly be more applicable towards the energy that you might be dealing with in separation. Energies don't understand the difference, right? They just don't. They don't understand the man-made calendar. They don't understand any of that. That's where it's effective to work in some astrology, right? Because that's far more scientific, in my opinion anyway. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. All right. What's going on here, Libra? Okay. You're saying your silence feels safer to me. I don't want to get hurt again. You just don't want there to be any hurt. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want them to hurt you. But I feel like in hurting them, you hurt yourself as well. And it's always been you. I don't know how to tell you the truth. I want a new beginning. And the energy connecting you is soulmates. Soul connection. Soul contract. I don't know if I can ever be exactly who you expect me to be. Oh, this is tricky. Because it's like there's all this emotion here, but maybe this person, it's like there's all of this passion, but maybe this person is maybe not ambitious enough for you, or too ambitious, or there's something about them, or you may feel that they view you like that. The next card here for you is, I'm working on myself so I can give you the love and relationship you deserve. So maybe you've been feeling you were really like indecisive, and you're trying to get, you know, your energies in a row here. For them, you were my sanctuary. You were the only person I could confide in, and I betrayed your trust. Wow, it seems like you guys were sort of like to each other. Oh, well, we have the golden mirror here. 7th house, partnerships, is the house of mirroring. So there is the energy of self-absorption, narcissistic tendencies, more of a one-sided relationship. The energy of love bombing here could even be going on. Yet you show me a stability and security I have never known. Next up for you, I kept up a facade to the world because you always saw, I kept up a facade to the world, but you always saw past that into my soul. So maybe you were saying things and doing things to everybody else, but you were just like a different, more authentic person when behind closed doors with them. And for them, my memories of you haunt me and keep me thinking about what could have been. And clarifying this is the card date. Meeting somebody new, dating, getting back out there, plan, set a date, clarifying that. I'm not the person you remember. So they're new. This is somebody, all right. So this could indicate them wanting to go on a date with you to show you how they've changed, or you doing that towards them. Final row, I want to hold you again. I need to feel your body next to mine. And for them, I love you, but I'm afraid to reach out and have you reject me. The energy that's connecting you is clock. Needs time, takes time, in time cycles, time to heal, to progress. I know I didn't handle things the right way, but I don't know how to fix it. I wouldn't be surprised if in Mercury retrograde you guys are going to be hearing from somebody. I just feel like, let me just pull Knight of Wands. Fired up ambition, soul connection, things healing, settling a conflict. The honeymoon card. I mean, positive. Very positive. Soul connection. Wanting to settle a conflict and establish a strong foundation with you. The honeymoon energy. Nine of Wands, really wanting to. Somebody's ambition is very fired up to sort of go back in. So look, Mercury retrograde season, absolutely. It's in your first house itself, so it's a hot button for you. This could be people coming back from your past having to do with relationship, friendships, family connections, job opportunities. It's kind of like a big mix for you here. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for hanging with me. Have a beautiful next couple of weeks, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.